Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices like Calico. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're going to be attracting fluffy, cute little cats to our quilt as we sew it together, as well as some other buttons and trying to follow certain design guidelines. Today we're taking a look at Calico. This is from AEG. It is for 1 to 4 players. It is a puzzly tile placement game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. So here is my board in Calico. Every player gets their own board, but all players are playing off of these goals that are generally for everybody in the game, and these are very much randomized each game. I'll go over more of that later. But what I want to show you is the end of the game and show you what you're trying to do and the different goals in the game, because this looks like a big hodgepodge of pattern tiles, and that's essentially what it is because you're making a quilt and attracting cats. Now over the course of the game, you're going to be adding these tiles to your board. Now your board actually starts with tiles on the edges. If you look at this blank one, it has tiles on the edges that you can use for both patterns and colors. Those are the two things you're really concentrating on here, are patterns and colors. So what we look at here is, let's first look at colors. Anytime you have 3 of the same color that's touching, you can get a button. You get a button of that color, and this, you grab it from a supply that's way over here, and each of these buttons is worth 3 points. So I have 3 greens here, 3 purples, 3 dark blues, 3 yellows, and 3 pinks, as long as they're touching. And if you get all 6 of them, you actually get to put a rainbow on, and that's also 3 points. So all of those buttons are 3 points at the end of the game. That's one of the goals that you're sort of shooting for throughout the game. Another goal are these 3 gold tiles, and these are slightly randomized at the beginning of the game as well. You actually get 6 of these, and you can have a beginner setup where specific ones come out, or you can randomize it. Now this says, hey, if you have different colors or patterns all the way around touching this, you'll get 10 points. So here we have only 1 light blue here, but you'll notice that here we have 2 greens. That means that if we're trying to complete this, we're not working on colors, we're working on patterns, because it's either or. So we have this pattern, this, polka dots and lines. So you can see we actually have, everyone is a different pattern around here. Now, if we happen to have had different patterns and all different colors, we would have gotten the bigger score of 15, but we got different patterns, so that's 10. Now, this one here, it says 4 A's and 2 B's. This means basically 4 of the same and then 2 different. And again, you're always doing colors or patterns, or sometimes if you can get both. This one's really hard to do that way. So on this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. Notice they don't have to be touching each other, but they're around here. And we have 2 of the other color. So we did get this. We got 7 just like that. And while trying to get all these other buttons, we made it so we didn't get any of these. You need basically 3 pairs, A's, B's, and C's. So 2 of the same color or patterns, but you're doing it with 3 different things. So it would be like 2 greens, 2 blues, 2 purples, or, the same things with patterns. So 2 of the same, 2 of the same, 2 of the same, but each of those have to be different from each other. And I wasn't able to get any of this, so I got 0 points for this one. So I got 10 here and 7 here, 3 for all these buttons. Now, also remembering that if you can get both of each, you're getting the bigger score. Now you might see these cats around here, and again, these cats are somewhat randomized in both what they do. They're double-sided, which give you different goals each game, and there's actually 5 of these that you can choose from. Now here it tells you these are all black and white. These are just patterns. This says basically if you have 3 or more tiles with either of these patterns, but the same pattern, you'll get one of these cats. And here you'll see we have 3 touching that are the lines here. And so we got this cat. Now this cat's gonna be worth 3 points at the end. Actually has it on the back there, but it makes the board look better like this. And then this cat over here, we need 5 in a straight line, and I have this pattern here, 1, and again, you can use the outside ones for the cats and for the colors, of course. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually had 6 of these. We have at least 5, so we get this one, which is 11 points here. So those are the main ways to score. You have sort of the cat gold tiles, you have your own gold tiles, and you have the buttons. At the end, you add all that up, and whoever has the most points is the winner. So let's talk about how you actually place these tiles. Now, how do you do this? Well, at the beginning of the game, you have a couple tiles in your hand, and you'll place one, and then you'll simply get one from the supply that's open, and then a new one will come out just like that. This is a pool that all players will be taking from, so you're never exactly sure what's going to be there when it comes to your next turn. but those are your options that you know will be there, so you can figure out which of the two tiles you want to place. That's pretty much it. You can place tiles anywhere. They don't have to, anywhere in this open board. They don't have to touch a specific tile that you've already placed. Now you actually have 6 of these different goals. Each player has the same 6 goals, but you can play a variant where you take out of the 6, you randomly take 4 of them and you select which 3 to use. There's also variants where you can randomize which cats are here, or you can specifically take a certain amount of, certain cats, there's always 3 of them, but certain ones depending on what you want. Like this one needs this pattern and you'll get 3 points, or this one needs that pattern. There's actually 5 different cats to play with. This one needs either 6 or more, or that pattern, 4 or more, or this pattern, but you're always just playing with 3 of them. There's also a book of achievements that you can use, and over the course of the games, when you finish, if you get either more these points or more, have these certain objectives, you color in 1 circle at most per game, and then you color in something here on the left, and depending on how many cats you get to over the course of the lifetime of you owning the game, you'll get different achievements. There's also 10 different scenarios you can play in the book. You start with the first one and you continue to go. Like this one tells you the setup for which design goals you use, which 3 cats, you need to get 58 or more points, and you need to get one of those rainbows, meaning having 3 of all of the different colors. And if you pass that, then you'll get an achievement as we talked about previously here on this page. And then the next time you play, you go to the next one. And this is also how you can play the solo game as well, because this is the main way the solo game works. All right, Calico. This game has simple mechanisms. You're simply just playing a tile, drawing a tile, that's it. But this game has a deceptively deep puzzle going on. There is lots to think about. When you're doing this, this isn't a game that you're gonna be playing and talking and chatting it up with other players. Like everyone is pretty much almost in silence, looking at their board, looking at the puzzles, and trying to figure out how to get done what they need to get done. The goal tiles are cool because you can either really shoot for those well and try to get those, or you can really try to double down and try to do both of the goals on there and get even more points. And I like that those are sort of customizable, meaning there's different variants of those tiles, and you can place them in one of the 3 different spots. And there's ways to, so it gives a lot of replayability that you have 6 of these, but you're only using half of them each game. The cat tiles, again, also either trying to get a certain amount of tiles of a certain pattern type, together, or on the other sides of those cat tiles, you have the ones where they're in certain specific configurations of those patterns. And again, randomizing these, having different levels, 1, 2s, and 3s each game, keeps each game feeling a little bit different because the puzzle is always going to change. The buttons, I like going for these, trying to get the 3 different colors together, you get an extra 3 points, but you're also, if you're able to get all the colors, getting that rainbow, which is cool as well. The trick of this game, and what makes this game so engaging for me, is the triangulation of the 3 competing goals. Because it's like, I'm going for design goals, I'm going for the cats, and I'm going for the colors. How do I best put these, triangulate these 3 goals together that they all fit? Sometimes they just won't. Sometimes you're gonna have to decide, oh man, I was going for this rainbow, I'm 2 colors away, I can get the colors here, but if I do that, I won't be able to get the better, the better score doubling down on this design goal tile. So which one is better for me? And a lot of times these goals are at ends with each other, but sometimes they're not. You're trying to figure out where can these triangulate and have them all work together. And I love this aspect of the game. The achievements and scenarios are just an added bonus. It will give this game a longer length of time for replayability and on your shelf, that there's different things to try to go through with this. In summary, I love puzzly games, and this is one of the best I've played, period. This is very engaging. Easily could be talked about in the same breath as some of my favorite puzzle games, like in the Azul categories and Sagrada. This game is in the same conversation of those, I think. Now, it does have less player interaction than those games. Now, granted, you're still drafting tiles from a pool that everyone else is taking from, but I found myself much less going after things and affecting another player in such a way where you're really just concentrating on your own board here. It's kind of multiplayer solitaire, but it's not, because different tiles are getting taken, which does affect you. But I just didn't see people purposely taking tiles that would screw somebody else out, because you're so concentrated on the tightness of making your board work, if that makes any sense. But it is an excellent game. Any negatives here? It's definitely better with the lower player counts. Because this game is so thinky, even with 2 players that are thinking back and forth, the pace feels perfect. With 3, you've got extra time, and with 4, there's gonna be some downtime, and if you're okay with that and studying your board and thinking through, it's fine. But the higher player counts is gonna induce definitely more playtime and definitely more sort of AP or more downtime, I think. For the other negative is the theme of cats. This is a theme that's quickly becoming overused in the board game area. I mean, even just in the last year, we've had Cat Tower, Isle of Cats, Cat Lady. Of course, you've got Exploding Kittens that didn't come out last year, but there's lots and lots of these cat games coming out. And it's starting to be a genre that's getting a little tired already, unfortunately. But I would still prefer this than like a generic fantasy or a battle type of thing. But it is here nor there. This game is so good that it's absolutely staying in my gaming library, so it's going to be inducted with a saxophone serenade of my own, so let's bring it. Lucky Duck Games has launched a brand new online shop and are offering you, my viewers, a special discount. During checkout, use promo code GameBoyGeek10 and you'll save 10% on the price of your games. On the Lucky Ducks game shop, you'll find exciting new releases such as Tang Garden, which I recently reviewed and the link is below, and It's a Wonderful World, as well as award-winning games like Chronicles of Crime, which is one of my favorite cooperative games of all time, and Vikings Gone Wild. So why not visit LuckyDuckGames.com now and find something new to play?